What if everything you have been told about eyesight is wrong? What if glasses are not the solution but part of the problem? What if your eyes can heal themselves naturally at any age, regardless of genetics? Thomas R. Quackenbush spent decades teaching natural vision improvement and wrote what many consider the most comprehensive book ever published on the Betz method. Relearning to See is a 500-page encyclopedia of natural eyesight improvement, filled with over 60 color plates and 150 illustrations. This is not about eye exercises. This is about relearning the correct vision habits you were born with but lost through years of strain, stress, and incorrect use of your eyes. Millions of people wear glasses or contacts, believing their blurred vision is permanent, genetic, and irreversible. Quackenbush proves otherwise. Your eyes were designed to see clearly without mechanical aids. The question is, are you ready to relearn how to see? It's the revolutionary discovery that changed everything. Dr. William Horatio Bates was a successful New York ophthalmologist in the early 1900s who became increasingly dissatisfied with conventional eye care. He prescribed glasses like every other eye doctor of his time, but he noticed something peculiar. Some patients who neglected to wear their glasses actually improved. Their vision got better, not worse. This violated everything he had been taught in medical school. According to orthodox ophthalmology, once vision deteriorates, it cannot improve naturally. Glasses are necessary for life. Yet here were patients proving the opposite. Dr. Bates decided to investigate why. He spent decades researching vision, studying thousands of patients, documenting what causes blur and what restores clarity. His conclusions revolutionized understanding of how vision actually works. He published his findings in 1920 in Perfect Sight, Without Glasses, and in Better Eyesight magazine from 1920 to 1931. Dr. Bates discovered that the prevailing theory of accommodation was wrong. Conventional ophthalmology teaches that the lens inside the eye is solely responsible for focusing, and that lens inflexibility causes vision problems. Bates found something different. The external muscles around the eyeball play a crucial role in focusing. When these muscles become tense and rigid, they distort the shape of the eyeball, creating refractive errors like myopia, hyperopia, and astigmatism. More importantly, Bates discovered that this muscular tension is caused by mental and emotional strain. Stress, anxiety, trying too hard to see, and poor visual habits create tension that manifests as physical rigidity in the eye muscles. When the mental strain is released, the physical tension dissolves, and vision naturally restores itself to clarity. This was not theory. This was observation documented in thousands of patients whose vision improved when they learned to relax. A woman named Margaret had worn glasses for nearsightedness since age 12. By age 35, her prescription had increased multiple times to -6 diopters. She accepted that her vision would only worsen with age. Her eye doctor told her myopia was genetic and progressive, that nothing could be done except stronger glasses. Then Margaret discovered the Bates method through a friend whose astigmatism had improved. Margaret was skeptical but desperate. She began learning relaxation techniques, practicing correct vision habits, and gradually reducing her dependence on glasses. Within 6 months, her vision had improved enough to reduce her prescription to -4 diopters. Within 2 years, she was wearing -2 diopter glasses only for night driving. Her eye doctor was baffled, insisting this should not be possible. Margaret knew what had happened. Years of strain and incorrect vision habits had created her myopia. Releasing the strain and relearning correct habits allowed her eyes to return toward their natural state. Strain is the root cause of all blurred vision. The foundation of the Bates method rests on one principle: strain causes blur, and relaxation restores clarity. When your eyes and mind are relaxed, vision is effortlessly clear. When you strain to see, trying too hard, forcing focus, or experiencing mental stress, vision blurs. This is why vision fluctuates. You may see clearly in the morning after rest, but experience blur in the evening after a stressful day. You may read easily when relaxed, but struggle with the same text when anxious. Conventional ophthalmology treats vision as fixed, determined by the physical measurements of your eye. But Dr. Bates found that vision changes constantly based on mental and emotional state. A girl developed temporary myopia when she lied to Dr. Bates. The moment she felt apprehensive and guilty, her vision blurred. When she confessed and relaxed, her vision cleared again. This demonstrated dramatically that emotions directly affect eyesight. Dr. Elwin Mark, optometry professor, wrote in 1952 that most of Dr. Bates' claims and almost all of his theories have been considered false by practically all visual scientists. Yet decades later, neuroscience has confirmed what Bates observed clinically. Emotions and mental strain translate into body tension, and for many people, this manifests as eye strain and vision problems. Conventional medicine still treats the eyes as separate from the brain and body, prescribing glasses to compensate for symptoms without addressing the underlying cause of strain. A man named David worked as a software engineer, staring at computer screens 10 hours daily. By age 28, he needed glasses for myopia. His prescription increased every year. He experienced headaches, neck tension, and eye fatigue. His optometrist told him this was normal for his profession and age. David learned about the Betts method and realized his work habits created constant strain. He stared at the screen without blinking or moving his eyes. He held his breath when concentrating. His neck and shoulders were perpetually tense. He began implementing simple changes, blinking frequently, shifting his gaze, taking breaks, relaxing his breathing, and loosening neck tension. Within weeks, his headaches disappeared. Within months, his vision at the computer improved noticeably. His annual eye exam showed his prescription had decreased for the first time ever. His optometrist had no explanation. The three principles of natural vision: relaxation, movement, and centralization. Quackenbush explains that people with perfect vision use their eyes in fundamentally different ways than people with blurred vision. Three core principles characterize natural, relaxed seeing. First, relaxation. The eyes and mind must be at rest to see clearly. Any effort or strain to see creates tension that produces blur. Perfect sight comes easily, without forcing. Second, movement. The eyes are designed for constant motion. They shift continuously from point to point, never staring fixedly at anything. This movement is small, rapid, and unconscious in people with normal vision. When you try to hold your gaze steady on one spot, vision blurs because you have violated the natural function of the eyes. Third, centralization. The center of your visual field is always clearer than the periphery. This is because the fovea centralis, the central part of the retina, contains the highest concentration of photoreceptors. When you try to see everything equally clearly at once, diffusing your attention across your entire visual field, vision blurs. Natural vision sees one small point clearly at a time and continuously shifts to new points. Dr. Mark Davis, who studied the psychology of eating, also researched how stress affects sensory systems. His work confirms that when people are stressed, anxious, or rushing, their sensory perception deteriorates across all modalities. Vision, hearing, taste, and touch all become less acute under stress. The autonomic nervous system shifts into fight-or-flight mode, diverting blood flow away from sensory organs to muscles. Conversely, when people are relaxed, calm, and present, sensory acuity sharpens dramatically. The same meal tastes better when eaten slowly and mindfully. The same music sounds richer when listened to with full attention. The same scene appears clearer when viewed with relaxed eyes. A woman named Susan worked as a graphic designer. Her job required intense focus on tiny details for hours. She developed severe myopia and astigmatism by age 30. She learned about centralization and realized she'd trained herself to see incorrectly. She tried to see her entire computer screen clearly at once, diffusing her attention. This violated natural vision principles. She began practicing centralization, looking at one small part, seeing it clearly, then shifting to another small part. She allowed the periphery to be less clear. This felt strange initially because she had trained herself to do the opposite. But within days, her eyes felt more relaxed. The constant strain and fatigue diminished. Over months, her vision improved measurably because she was finally using her eyes the way they were designed to function. Sketch, breathe, and blink. The foundation of clear sight. Quackenbush summarizes the practical essence of natural vision in 3 words: sketch, breathe, and blink. Sketching means moving your eyes continuously, tracing the edges and details of whatever you look at. Your eyes were designed to move, not to stare. When you sketch with your eyes, tracing outlines, following contours, and shifting from detail to detail, vision remains clear and relaxed. When you stare fixedly, trying to hold your gaze steady, tension builds and vision blurs. Breathing correctly is essential for relaxation. Most people with blurred vision hold their breath or breathe shallowly, especially when concentrating or straining to see. This deprives the eyes of oxygen and creates systemic tension. Natural breathing is deep, rhythmic, and effortless. When you breathe properly, your entire body relaxes, including your eyes. Blinking frequently is crucial for eye health and clear vision. A normal blink rate is 15 to 20 times per minute. People who stare at screens or strain to see often blink only 3 to 5 times per minute. This dries the eyes, creates tension, and reduces visual clarity. Frequent soft blinking keeps the eyes lubricated, relaxed, and functioning properly. Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist at Stanford University who studies vision, has confirmed that eye movements are essential for visual processing. His research shows that the eyes make constant micromovements called saccades, even when we think we are staring steadily. These movements prevent visual fading and maintain clear perception. When the eyes are artificially stabilized in laboratory conditions, vision actually disappears within seconds. Movement is not optional. It is required for seeing. Huberman also documents the profound connection between breathing patterns and nervous system state. Slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and optimal sensory function. Rapid, shallow breathing activates the sympathetic nervous system, creating stress and impairing perception. A man named Robert was a lawyer who read documents for hours daily. He developed severe presbyopia in his 40s, needing reading glasses with increasing magnification. He learned about sketch, breathe, and blink. He realized he stared at text without moving his eyes, held his breath while reading difficult passages, and blinked rarely when concentrating. He consciously changed these habits. He began sketching the words with his eyes, moving smoothly from word to word. He maintained relaxed breathing, even when reading complex material. He blinked frequently and softly. Within weeks, he noticed he could read smaller print without glasses. Within 6 months, he had reduced his reading glasses prescription by half. The improvement came not from exercises, but from relearning correct vision habits he had unknowingly abandoned. Palming, the gateway to deep relaxation. One of the most important techniques Bates discovered was palming. This simple practice involves covering your closed eyes with your palms, without putting pressure on the eyeballs and resting in darkness for several minutes. When done correctly, palming produces profound relaxation of the eyes and mind. Dr. Bates observed that when people palm properly, with complete mental relaxation, they see a field so black that it is impossible to imagine anything blacker. This perfect blackness indicates total relaxation. Most people initially see lights, colors, spots, or patterns when palming, indicating residual tension. As they practice and deepen their relaxation, the field becomes progressively blacker, and upon opening their eyes, vision is noticeably clearer. Palming works because it gives the eyes complete rest from visual stimulation while the mind practices relaxation. Dr. Herbert Benson from Harvard Medical School pioneered research on the relaxation response, showing that specific relaxation techniques produce measurable physiological changes: lowered blood pressure, reduced muscle tension, decreased stress hormones, and improved organ function. His studies demonstrate that 20 minutes of deep relaxation daily can reverse stress-related damage and enhance healing throughout the body. The eyes, being highly vascularized organs with extensive nerve connections, benefit dramatically from relaxation. Blood flow increases, tension releases, and function improves. A woman named Linda suffered from severe eye strain, headaches, and increasingly blurred vision. She worked under fluorescent lights in a windowless office, staring at computer screens and documents without breaks. Her eyes felt tired and burning by midday. She learned to palm for 5 minutes every 2 hours. During palming, she focused on relaxing her mind, releasing thoughts about work, and visualizing peaceful scenes. The first few times, she saw swirling colors and spots. But as she practiced daily, the field became darker and more uniform. The immediate effect was remarkable. After palming, her eyes felt refreshed and comfortable. The burning sensation disappeared, and text appeared noticeably sharper. Over months of consistent palming practice, her overall vision improved. Her prescription decreased, and the chronic headaches that had plagued her for years resolved completely. Memory and imagination. The mental keys to clear sight. Dr. Bates discovered that vision is not purely a physical phenomenon. Memory and imagination play crucial roles. When you remember or imagine something clearly, your vision improves. When you remember or imagine something imperfectly, your vision blurs. This seems strange at first, but it makes sense when you understand that seeing is ultimately a brain function. The eyes are sensors that collect light, but the brain interprets and creates the visual experience. Bates taught his patients to practice remembering and imagining perfect blackness. When you close your eyes and perfectly remember or imagine pure blackness, darker than anything you have ever seen, your eyes relax completely. When you open your eyes after this mental practice, vision is clearer. Similarly, imagining seeing clearly helps produce clear vision. If you remember what perfect vision feels like, your eyes and brain begin recreating that state. Conversely, remembering strain, believing your vision is poor, or imagining that you cannot see clearly creates the very blur you fear. Dr. Moshe Feldenkrais, who developed the Feldenkrais method of somatic education, emphasized that movement and sensation are inseparable from mental imagery and intention. His work demonstrates that changing how you imagine movement changes how you actually move. The same principle applies to vision. Changing how you imagine seeing changes how you actually see. The brain creates reality based on expectations, memories, and mental images as much as on sensory input. When you expect to see clearly, relax into that expectation and imagine clarity. Your visual system organizes itself to produce that result. When you expect blur, strain to overcome it, and imagine failure, you create the blur through tension. A man named Christopher had worn thick glasses for severe myopia since childhood. He had internalized the belief that he was nearly blind without glasses. When he tried removing his glasses, panic set in. His vision blurred even more, and he quickly put them back on. This reinforced his belief that he needed glasses desperately. He learned about memory and imagination. He began practicing without glasses in safe environments, imagining and remembering what clear vision felt like. He recalled moments when his vision had been surprisingly clear, times when he saw better than expected. He built on these positive memories, strengthening the mental image of clarity. Gradually, his actual vision improved as his mental expectations shifted from helplessness to possibility. After 2 years of practice, he reduced his prescription from -8 to -3 diopters, functioning comfortably in daily life with minimal correction. Sunlight, nature's vision enhancer. Dr. Bates found that moderate exposure to natural sunlight benefits the eyes tremendously. He observed that people who spent time outdoors in natural light had better vision than those who worked constantly under artificial lighting. He developed techniques for safely allowing sunlight to fall on closed eyelids, a practice he called sunning. Modern research has confirmed Bates' observations. Dr. Ian Morgan from the Australian National University has conducted extensive studies on myopia prevention, finding that children who spend more time outdoors have significantly lower rates of myopia than children who spend most of their time indoors. The protective effect is dose-dependent. For every additional hour per week outdoors, myopia risk decreases. The mechanism involves natural light exposure stimulating dopamine release in the retina, which regulates eye growth and prevents excessive elongation that causes myopia. Dr. Bates recommended standing in sunlight with eyes closed, allowing the sun to warm the eyelids, then turning the head gently side to side. This simple practice increases blood flow to the eyes, relaxes the muscles, and stimulates healthy function. He cautioned never to stare at the sun with open eyes, as this can damage the retina. But sunlight on closed lids, practiced daily for a few minutes, strengthens and revitalizes the visual system. A man named James worked night shifts for years, rarely seeing sunlight. His vision had progressively worsened, and he felt exhausted constantly. He began spending 15 minutes each morning in sunlight, practicing sunning with closed eyes, and then opening his eyes to enjoy natural outdoor scenes. Within weeks, he noticed his eyes felt more alive and comfortable. His vision seemed brighter and clearer. His energy improved as well, likely from the circadian rhythm benefits of morning light exposure. After 6 months of daily sunlight practice, combined with other natural vision techniques, his vision had improved enough to reduce his glasses prescription. He realized his eyes had been starved of the natural light they were designed to receive. The glasses trap: how corrective lenses weaken vision. One of the most controversial aspects of the Bates method is the assertion that glasses, rather than helping, actually make vision worse over time. Dr. Bates characterized corrective lenses as crutches that prevent natural healing. When you wear glasses that fully correct your vision, your eyes no longer need to make any effort to focus. This sounds like a good thing, but it creates dependency. The muscles atrophy from disuse. The visual system adapts to the glasses, becoming weaker. Moreover, glasses lock your eyes into the exact amount of blur they correct for. If you wear -3 diopter lenses, your eyes will maintain -3 diopters of myopia. If your eyes try to improve, becoming less myopic, the glasses now overcorrect, creating strain. This prevents natural improvement from occurring. Additionally, glasses perpetuate the strain patterns that created blur in the first place. You continue straining to see, but now you strain through the glasses. The underlying tension never resolves. Modern optometry has confirmed some of Bates' concerns. Studies show that prescribing full correction for children with myopia accelerates the progression of their nearsightedness compared to undercorrection or no correction. Research on blur adaptation demonstrates that when corrective lenses are removed, the visual system adapts within days to interpret blurred images more effectively, perceiving improvement of 2 or more lines on an eye chart without any physical change in the eye. This adaptation suggests that perception plays a larger role in vision than conventional ophthalmology acknowledges. A woman named Rachel had worn glasses since age 10. By age 40, her myopia prescription was -7 diopters. She felt completely helpless without glasses, unable to function even in her own home. She began the gradual process of reducing her dependence. She obtained weaker glasses, undercorrecting by 1 diopter. This felt uncomfortable initially, but within days her eyes adapted. After several months, she reduced again to -5 diopters. She practiced natural vision techniques daily, addressing the strain that had created her myopia in the first place. The process required patience and commitment, but after 3 years, she was functioning comfortably with -2 diopters. Having regained most of her natural vision through persistent relearning of correct habits, taking action to relearn natural vision. The central message of relearning to see is empowerment through understanding and practice. Your vision is not fixed. It is not determined solely by genetics or by the physical shape of your eyeball. Vision is a dynamic process involving your eyes, muscles, nerves, brain, mind, emotions, and habits. Everything you do affects your vision. How you breathe, how you move your eyes, how you hold tension in your body, how you think about seeing, and how you respond to stress all influence visual clarity. Most people with blurred vision have simply learned incorrect habits. They stare instead of moving their eyes. They hold their breath instead of breathing naturally. They strain to see instead of relaxing. They wear glasses that prevent natural improvement. They believe their vision cannot change. All of these are learned behaviors that can be unlearned. Natural vision is your birthright. You were born with the capacity for clear sight. If you have lost it, you can relearn it. The process is not always quick or easy. Vision improvement through the Bates method requires patience, persistence, and willingness to change deeply ingrained habits. You are essentially retraining your entire visual system, which takes time. But thousands of people worldwide have successfully improved their vision naturally. Many freeing themselves completely from glasses or preventing the need for them in the first place. Quackenbush emphasizes that studying books is helpful, but working with a qualified Bates method teacher accelerates progress dramatically. A teacher can observe your habits, identify specific patterns of strain, and guide you through the relearning process more effectively than you can manage alone. Whether you work with a teacher or study independently, the key is consistent daily practice integrated into your life. This is not about doing eye exercises for 10 minutes and then forgetting about vision the rest of the day. This is about relearning how to use your eyes correctly all day long in everything you do. Your eyes want to heal. Your visual system wants to function naturally. All you need to do is remove the obstacles you have unknowingly placed in its path. Release the strain. Relearn the correct habits. Sketch, breathe, and blink. Move your eyes, relax your mind. Practice centralization. Palm daily. Spend time in natural light. Reduce dependence on glasses gradually. Remember and imagine clarity. Be patient with yourself. Trust the process. Your vision can improve naturally at any age, regardless of what you have been told. The question is not whether natural vision improvement works. Thousands of success stories prove it does. The question is whether you will commit to relearning to see. The choice is yours. Your eyes are waiting for you to rediscover their natural function. Thank you for watching this summary of Relearning to See by Thomas R. Quackenbush. If this information has opened your eyes to the possibility of natural vision improvement, please subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based book summaries that can transform your health and life. Visit our channel for more books on natural health, alternative medicine, and holistic healing approaches. Your vision is not permanent. Your eyes can heal. Start relearning to see today.